pleasure.
Well, here we are at the UK MG Weekender Rally in Jersey, and amongst all these lovely old MGs there's a brand spanking new one, and there's the owner Roger Pratten from where in the UK?
From Northampton in the UK, yep.
And we're going to have a little look at the car, because this is the important engine bay. What have we got here? What is the engine?
We've got a 1500 engine, which is designed and built uniquely for this car. So it hasn't come out of another car, you know, sharing components. It is unique to this vehicle.
Tell us a bit about it. What is it?
It's a 1500 normally aspirated 4-cylinder.
You say normally aspirated, that means there ought to be a carburettor in my language, is there?
No, it's injection.
It's all injection?
It's injection, but it's not turboed.
Right. And the valves, what are they?
It's overhead.
Overhead?
Yeah, twin valve, yeah.
Twin valves. Is it a complicated engine, or is it?
I'm not really sure. It's still very new. I haven't started tinkering to take the.
What is remarkable about this whole concept, there was a big famous sale a few years ago when the company got taken over by the Chinese.
They did indeed, yes.
Now this presumably is the first car they produced, or not?
It's the second. Yeah. They produced an MG3, which is a larger saloon car. It's been on the road about 2 years now.
And it's produced where?
It's produced actually at Longbridge. It's designed at Longbridge.
Whose factory was that?
It's the old Austin factory.
Right.
Then the Chinese actually do all the pressings, and then ship the body shells over, and they're assembled at Longbridge.
And the designers, who are they? Do we know?
The designers are at Longbridge. There's a 300-strong design team at Longbridge, and they are designing all of the SAIC cars destined for Europe, Australia, New Zealand, etc.
Now, around here we've got the traditional, the MGs on which the fame was built.
Yes.
Does this have any provenance at all relating to these, or is it a totally new concept?
It's a totally new concept, although saying that the MGs from their inception in about 1925 have actually made more saloon model types than sports car types,
right.
Although they've made more physical sports cars in sales numbers.
Well, I look inside the cab here. Obviously it's modern comforts.
Yes, it comes with DAB radio, with traction control, with climate control. Yeah, so it's got all the mod cons fitments.
Gearbox, it says 5-speed gearbox. Is that's standard?
5-speed manual is all that's available at the moment.
Is it right?
There will be an automatic in the future, but not at the moment, because the cars were only released to the UK market in September.
Right.
And the first one actually went on the road in November.
There was all very curious with the Chinese, where nothing happened for a long time, and there was talks about presses and things being taken to China. Did anything actually come out of China that was with an MG badge on it?
Yes, the latter part of the production of the TF, the first TFs that the Chinese sent back out, I believe, were made from panels that were left at Longbridge, and then the remainder of the TFs that came out post 2007 were Chinese pressed.
So they've got a factory in China potentially?
Oh yeah, well, SAIC in actual fact are listed as the 7th largest car manufacturer in the world.
Really?
Although in the UK we never heard of them until they bought MG.
And is there stuff coming out of China with an MG badge on it?
Yes, yeah, the MGs, and there is an equivalent to the Rover on sale in China as well, but it's not sold actually under the Rover name. It's I believe it's something like ROAC. Is the
now
Chinese
this car, we're in Jersey, this car is not available in Jersey. There's no local agent.
There's no local agent, no. They're very thin on the ground even in the UK. I believe there's around about 40 agents so far, but they're increasing by nearly 2 a week.
What are they
will
doing?
get
Are they
national coverage.
tying up with established motor traders or new traders?
Yes, yeah, they're going into mainly into established, so they're shared dealerships they're going into. So it could be MGs and Mitsubishi or MGs
I mean, in
and
this line you've got
Volkswagens or
firms
whatever.
like Jackson's. They seem to have every big name brand under the sun.
Yeah, it's the way to go. It's the way
It's not like it used to be. It used to go to some shop, he was Roots, and somebody else
Yeah,
used to do
that's it.
BMC.
Yeah, they
it's
were
not like that
individual,
anymore. It's not
individual
like that.
sales centres, but now they share franchises. Yeah,
Is much of this car available on other cars? Is it everything's unique to this car?
this is a unique. Everything on this car is only available on this car.
Now you've had this particular one's a couple of months old.
2 months I've had this now. I've done 3,000
What's it
miles.
like? What's it like?
I'm very, very pleased with it. The handling is superb.
Right.
I also own a 2003 MG TF 135, and apart from the actual physical driving position, because obviously it's a lot higher car, the handling characteristics are very, very similar to the TF.
You've driven MGs for a long time.
35, 40 years.
What was your first one?
The first one was BGT.
BGT.
While I owned the BGT, I also had an EFI Maestro. I then traded the EFI Maestro and got a Turbo Maestro. I then traded that and got the TF 135. Then I sold the BGT. I've still got the 135 and this one now.
Right, I'm going to try and get one long shot from the side because the purists like to see the aesthetics of these cars.
As it is
It's
we can class as a Euro box,
a Euro box.
but
right.
there again, all cars today are computer designed for aerodynamics, etc.
Do we know
So-
where they're headed? What's the next sort of range of cars? Electric cars, diesel cars? What are they going to be up to?
There is an electric one, actually. It's not available yet, but it is in production as a limited number as
Right.
a test vehicle. And there are 2 new engines already destined for the MG3, which is, I believe, a 1.2 and a 1.4 3-cylinder turbo. And of course an auto box, and I dare say in the future sometime there'll be a diesel as well.
The fact that it's got the MG badge on it, in other countries, is that important? Does that mean anything?
It does, especially sort of in America and Canada.
Yeah.
They go absolutely crazy for anything MG. But it's sold, the MG, this particular MG, the MG3, is already being sold in Australia, Peru, all over the place.
Right. We're going to stop talking about the car because there's something else which we have to discuss.